Slop City Podcast!
Oh, that's beautiful.
What'd you say, bitch?
I don't get that. You're just like, yeah, what's up, Martha? Like, I don't give a fuck.
This guy's on fire.
Oh,
Is it recording?
I wish it would have been for like the last 20 minutes.
My bad.
No, that
Wouldn't it be funny if Bobby just shuts down now?
Yeah.
It's like,
Hey, guys. Hey, you're listening to Slop City.
Bobby's been on fire for the last 20 minutes. I mean, bit after bit after bit.
Well, we clapped when we came in, so I thought we were gone.
1, 2.
2, 3. We're on, baby. Yeah, I've been on fire for the last 20 minutes. I've just been doing Bit City. I really thought we were recording. You want to just do them again?
Yeah, start with the one where you're going into confession.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
You ever go into confess? It's like, you ever try a joke the second time? You're like, why didn't that sound anything like the first time? Like, because you have so much like you're excited about.
You guys, check it out. We got Bobby Jaycox here.
Hey!
It's Bobby, the Bone Man Jaycox.
He's here with all of his bones.
Why do we call you the Bone Man? I can't even remember.
I have no idea, but when you guys started your podcast, and that happened really quick, and I've never been more like, just like, that's like a cool nickname. Like usually my nicknames were not cool. So the fact that you're like the Bone Man made me feel pretty cool. I don't even know where it came
had something
from.
to do with you skateboarding.
It was the when you were on Fox 2 in the morning with the motorcycle bit.
Yeah.
That was where it came
I know.
from.
We
But where'd
talked
the Bone
about
Man
you
come from?
dying because
Oh,
you potentially
yeah.
could have died that day.
Yes.
And you would be just a skeleton man riding on
The
a
thing
skateboard.
about that day is I got on that motorcycle. I wasn't wearing a helmet. You're supposed to. I didn't have. I don't have my license. And someone I was like, hey, can I borrow someone's motorcycle? And he was like, yeah. And Meredith helped me out, and she got a motorcycle for me. And you can watch it on that film. I almost crashed the motorcycle because they were standing on both sides, and like they just came out and like, we're gonna start filming. I'm like, can I kind of explain what's going? They're like, well, here we go. I'm like, all right. So I ride the motorcycle around, and I go to come, and Kim Hudson gets in the way. The TV host, like all of a sudden I go veer to the right, and she like stands in front of it. So you watch me go, oh! So if you rewatch it, you'll see it on my face. I play it off, but I'm terrified. I'm like, Kim! Like she literally stands in front of right where I was gonna go at like, I don't know, 20 miles an hour.
I wonder if we can get that clip and superimpose it over this video.
Ooh,
Have you ever
the
heard
whole
of
time?
superimposing?
Yeah, is that where I'm like, superimposing? I'm posing.
Superposing. Look,
It's called superimposing.
Randy knows what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be the podcast for today. Thanks for joining us.
I've been Bobby. I was killing it for 20 minutes. If you guys want to come see me 20 minutes ago, I think I had something
Free
recording.
tickets?
Free
You have some free
tickets.
tickets to 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
My sister was excited that you were going to be here today and brought up her favorite thing you've ever done.
What?
When you rode a skateboard on stage at the library.
Oh! That was so funny. That was awesome. Yeah, we did a show to roughly, would you say 12 people?
My sis said 5.
5. Okay. I oversold it by a lot. A lot. Almost. Okay. Over double. So that was just the math I did in my head. So when we did that show, I was like, the energy was kind of like low, and I was like, what am I going to do? And I had my skateboard, and I was like, I got an idea. And I like to just be weird. So I literally just went through the audience, and I go, didn't I start from the back? And I was like, whoa! And I just start like holding the skateboard in the air and like flipping it and going between people's seats. No one was amused, but I can't.
Sis was, and
well,
me,
yeah,
I was.
yeah. And I was like, I did it for you guys, and no one else is having fun. But I can't like stop the bit and then just like walk by a couple people. I have to I can't just be like, sorry, I tried that bit. You want to see me for the next 10 minutes? Like, bomb. So I'm gonna take these off. These are hard to hear.
Yeah, you
but
don't have to wear them.
I wanted to wear
Now
them.
you look like a DJ.
Oh, what's up, guys? But we literally, when we did that, yeah, that was like, that's like all I want to do. Like, I really like making good bits. I like when a bit really works. But my favorite thing is being like, what if I just act like an idiot, like through here, and then come back on stage and then be like, hey,
It was incredible.
hey guys, did you think that was? Oh my god, I'm gonna pass out. Yeah, I was
incredible.
exhausted.
Doing shows like that, it reminded me where there's 5 people. Now, I've been on the road for a long time, and I can literally drop a piece of poop out of my butt, and people would love it.
Yes.
Going back to regular shows where nobody gives a fuck is hard.
Which yeah.
It's hard.
I just saw you guys destroy. I mean, in Chicago, I drove up to surprise you guys. I want to come see you guys. And I think I had to message you because I was like, this is almost sold out. I want to make sure I get in. So I go to the show, and we've all been to a lot of shows. A lot of shows. That was one of the loudest. I'm not saying this because you're my friend. One of the loudest audiences I have ever heard in my entire life. Sincerely,
And they're all like that.
and they loved it. And then we all go. We watched the show. You destroyed. Chelsea destroyed. Tina destroyed. Everyone destroyed. You did that bit in Chicago, dude. This guy's like just kind of standing like at this club. There's like kind of security guys that also I guess probably run drinks and stuff too. It's like how a lot of clubs work. And he's just standing off to the side, and he's been standing there. He's kind of like watching your set, and he's just kind of like looking around. And then he just goes to walk away, and then Libbie just go, "You're abandoning your post," and just starts playing with it. He goes, and he literally goes, and he almost like goes back to his spot because she sounded so assertive, and you had so many people in that room that this guy was like, "Yes, ma'am." Like he almost like went
Where
back.
do I come up with this stuff?
It's great. Yeah, you guys destroyed. That was one of the loudest audiences. And then we go backstage. We said hi. That was the first time I got to meet Chelsea. She was so sweet. I got to talk to her.
Hey, Shug.
Hey. She was great. And we all hung out, and then they were like, hey, they have to go see you guys. You guys got to do like meet and greet and stuff. And you guys walked out of the green room, and someone noticed you. And it's the closest I feel like I've ever been to like hanging out with like a Beatle or something. Like they were just like, they all said they just like turned, they're like, oh, guys, and like slowly this clap started getting everyone just like, yeah, like people waiting in line. And I was just like,
It's crazy.
it's amazing. Yeah, it is. So I'm sure now if you ever do a show that has a couple people where like any comic, if there's 5 people, they'll get off and be like, oh, that sucked. But they're like, oh, thank you so much for coming out. But when you do what you guys do and you have to go back to like 10 people who don't eat, they're like, who are you?
I did an open mic, and I've never felt more demoralized.
Oh, yeah. It's like trying to sleep without covers. You're like, it's cold in here. It feels weird.
All the parts where they usually just howl laughing,
Yeah.
there was no laughter, so I was just kind of like,
Yes.
anyway.
And it's a different thing. That's the thing. It's like it's different even if you're in a small room to like a bigger venue, or if you do a theater, like the laughs change, and sometimes it goes down to 0. And then you're like, you get to really see where the bones are of something in it. Like, I'm with you. Like, I prefer if the audience is on my side because I like to riff and have fun. Like, I don't go up there very often with like I got this bit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some people do that. I like to kind of play with the audience a little bit.
Well, doing the open mic was good, and I need to do more of those just because I need to write more, and also I just need to, because it's easy with Chelsea. It's not easy, but I mean, I know they're there to see us.
And you've won them over. So the thing that like happens at a comedy show, people will kind of watch and be like, why are you funny? But these people know why you're funny. So and they're already like, I can't wait to see what you do next. And you get like that freedom. Like when we're hanging out, like we do bits that if we're all walking in here, we did bits that if we would do it with anyone else, they'd be like, you guys are psychotic people. But it's like, it helps when you know someone because then you can go anywhere with them.
Right.
Like that, you guys have such incredible fans. I get more fans from this podcast than anything else. We were talking about that earlier.
I'll put his information in the description, and you better click on it, because when you go to his Instagram, what will you see? Let's give you a taste. What will you see on your stories almost every day?
Usually it's me with just like, I got a bunch of muscle cars around me. I kind of like, I eat, I'm very vegetarian.
You also do
kale,
the Just Woke Up
I do
podcast.
that Just Woke Up podcast. I do. That's one of the dumbest things I do. Everything I post that I'm like, people are going to unfollow, like people are going to not like this. People will message me like, that was my favorite thing I've ever seen. It's my favorite. Yeah. Sean O'Brien said I went up to the Funny Bone, and he was like,
so
dude,
funny.
He goes, Bobby, I felt like I was creeping on you. He's like, I pulled up that dumb guitar video you made the other day where you're just singing your name. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, I don't know. It makes me laugh so much. He goes, I don't know why.
God, that sounds just like him.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm pretty good at doing impressions of our friends. People are like, someone told me the other day, like, you should do an impression, like, you should like do impressions on stage. I'm like, yeah, but I don't do like an Owen Wilson voice or something like that. Like, I just do
this
Tina's
is my friend,
voice.
Tina.
And just like, boy. I just got pulled over.
What's Rafe? People know Rafe.
Oh, I mean, I have to sing to be as sexy as that man. Right now, what I'll do is I'll show my butt. Do you see that picture of him showing his butt on Instagram?
So good.
Dude, that butt is
Took
ready.
me 12 seconds to see
that
it, though.
butt is like the epitome of work hard, play hard. Like that butt just.
No, you want to see a butt.
I want to see all of the butts.
You got to see
honest.
this butt.
Any butt you got, send it on over.
I'm not going to send it to you because you'll jerk off to it 20 times. But I'll show you. I'm very proud of this picture of my butt.
This is your butt?
Yes.
This isn't just any old butt.
It's so good that I had to put it on my OF.
OnlyFans. giant.
I only have OnlyFans on my OnlyFans. I don't have people that are just kind of fans. They're fans. You're gonna shit yourself when you see how this booty's popping.
Do I need to pay? Do I need to pay
no,
money?
honeys,
I'll
you get to
sub.
see it for free.
Oh! Can we put this on the camera?
No, that's why I was holding it.
Libbie Higgins. I have a girlfriend. And if I text her that photo, she'd be like, hey, why don't you see what Libbie's doing? No, she'd be like,
She'd be like, why are you
Libbie!
showing me your mom's butt?
Libbie, you know what's really funny about us is I've taken a naked. There's a naked photo of me out there that please delete it, ma'am. If you still have this, ma'am, if you still have this, she's also older. She probably doesn't. No, but I sent a video and I did the same thing you did, where I put like some like cool lighting on because I was like, I want this thing to look cool.
That was the hotel.
I'm like, yeah, I also I had like a light on. You're like, no, I was just staying in a strip club.
Okay, I was in Chicago with my friend Harry, and this Rainbow Inn has different themed rooms.
Oh my god.
This one was, I don't know.
Was that? I think I saw the guy you were on the road with, the kind of like the longer hair or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, Harry. Yeah, I know him.
Discotheque style room. There was a mirror on the ceiling and those lights.
That's
now the
beautiful.
room next to us had like a fake spaceship bed. And after I saw that, I was like, why didn't we stay in the fake spaceship bed, dude? That was the room.
Take me to your leader. Want to get probed? Yeah.
And it had porn channels. Just like you could turn on a channel, it's all porn.
Oh, that is.
A little wild hotel.
That's wild. That's a little too straightforward where it's like you're already in a hotel being like, I wonder what someone did in here. But when you stay there, you're like, I know what people have done in here. Disgusting. Oh, my God.
Good times.
That is a great photo.
That booty was popping.
That booty was popping. That almost looked like if I like turn it, it like moves. It follows you wherever you go.
I should put it on Facebook for the 3D thing that
yeah,
they have.
yeah. But you're like, that ass is following me around the room.
It's just like you couldn't see. I'm not gonna say cellulite, but lipedema in my butt's real. It looks like cellulite.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't see it in that because of the discotheque
It looks
lights.
beautiful. And I'll be honest, that is the kind of butt that I like. I like a real butt. I don't like Photoshop. I think Kendrick Lamar said it the best. You know, yeah, I like.
What did
the
he
real
say?
butts. He said like he likes like real butts. He's like, I don't want to see it like covered up. Like I like that with the little bumps in there too. Even my girlfriend said that too because she's like, oh look, it's like a little dent. I'm like, yeah, looks real. It's beautiful, and I love you. And then she's like, all right, and then she goes and cheats on me, and that really pisses me. Babe, if you're listening to this, stop it. No, she doesn't do that. She's so sweet. She's never.
The sweetest.
I gotta text her and make sure she's doing okay.
His girlfriend is the sweetest.
She literally, Danielle is the best. She's one of my best friends. We say that all the time. That I'm like, it would be if we for some reason didn't work out, we would still have to be friends. Like maybe not right away, but I'm like, if something did happen, like I still love this girl.
Something's not going to happen.
Nothing's ever gonna happen. I love her. I love her to death, and I would never want anything to happen to us, baby.
Love
But unless it's a future girlfriend listening, I mean, I love you more than I did. I don't even remember that other girl. No, she's sweet. I've never even dated someone this long at all. She gets along with me.
Really?
We do bits with each other, and like she helps me write. Like we don't sit down and write together, but like I told her an idea for a sketch I had yesterday, and we were just walking around because I like thought I stepped in shit. And so I was like, oh, man. And I go to wipe my foot out in, like, some deeper grass. And I look down. I go, could you imagine if I, like, put it in, like, deeper shit? Like, I just kept, like, doing it. And then she's, like, at the end, like, she's like, yeah. And then she get, like, more shit. And then she's like, you could just end and look at the camera and be like, I'm in deep shit. I was like, babe, that's funny. She's hilarious. She is actually funny. Where I feel like I've heard guys say, like, I like funny women. And then they are like, no, you like someone who laughs at you. Where I'm like, no, she's, like, sincerely making me laugh. She does this new thing all the time now. Where if like I'm getting ready, if like we're like in the shower, if like we're going by each other or whatever, she tries to put her hand in my butt, like so from the front or behind, like she'll literally just try to grab it, and I'm so tight that I'm like, ah! Like she's like you freak out, and I'm like I'm not like anti doing that, but when someone just comes up on you, it freaks you out. But it's like her new favorite game if she does it, and I turn around, she's like like she loves that. She's like, I almost got you. And I'm like, yeah, you almost got me.
Does she try it when you're sleeping?
No, she hasn't tried it when I'm sleeping. But she has like tried it in bed. Like if I've rolled over like or something like that, she's tried to do it. But not when I'm sleeping.
She puts all the fingers in the crack?
Yes.
Like
yeah.
that?
She tries to get up in there however she can. From the top, from the bottom, from the left,
from the
top,
right. Make it drop. That's a wet ass booty.
That's a really my booty is so wet. What if she stuck in there
and then went? Would she like it?
If she did what you just did, I would be like, okay, I don't know what you just smelled, but I've been around there. I've kind of been shitting out of myself for a while now. I'm really sorry for that because I got it's bad. Like I'll fart and she'll be like, "Oh, it's gonna stink." Like she knows it's gonna stink. So if she went if Mary Catherine Gallagher style was like was shit, I'd be like, "What'd you think about that?" And she'd be like, "I'm gonna get all my stuff and go. I'm gonna move out right now."
So she can tell by the velocity of each fart how it's gonna smell.
Oh, but she just knows it's gonna stink because I'm really like she can fart and she's like, it probably won't stink. And it won't, but I'll fart. And she's like, dude, I'm eating cereal. You did it towards me on the couch. I'm a disgusting little boy.
How come her farts don't stink? She eats clean.
She's like an angel. Yeah. Sometimes they will stink, but most of the time it stunk the other night. We were like laying together and I like rolled over and she rolled that way and I wrote like, big spoon or whatever, because I'm a guy. So
yeah.
But I rolled over and she didn't tell me she farted. This is something only girls. My mom used to do this too. Like I would just be like, what smells? My mom would be like, I just farted. I'm like, why? And I roll over and I'm bad about brushing my teeth before I go to bed. Sometimes I'm bad about it and it's not good. So I roll over and I think I'm breathing into her back and I go, babe, I'm really sorry if my breath stinks. And she goes, no, I'm sorry. I just farted. I was like, babe, that you ramp ridered that from your ass, up your back, into my nose. And she's like, I'm like, you didn't tell me. She's like, I know, I'm sorry. And I'm like, so now I get a couple with her where I don't tell her. It's just this weird game.
So you have to tell each other when you fart?
We don't have to tell each other.
Is that the rule of the relationship?
No, there's no rule. I think it's funnier to tell me because if if we're hanging out, if I have to fart, I usually do a trick. I'll go, babe, and I stand up and I try to jump and fart. It's just something I do. And so she plays that game now too. But if I think it's a weirder to fart and then just be like, soup's good. It's weirder to not mention it. If farts are never funny. I swear, you can ask her. I swear to God, I said this. It was probably a year or two in. I farted and I kind of looked over and she just kind of didn't respond. I go, okay, we can fart in front of each other, but if you don't want to, if we can't acknowledge them, we're psychos. We're psychos. But apparently Rafe and Tina have told me that when they went over to Russia, their family is we don't think farts are funny.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't get that. Farts are the fun. My mom, for years, I never knew what would make my mom laugh. She's a funny person, but I was like, what makes her laugh? We watched a movie where someone farted and then shit onto the wall. I can't remember. It's with Owen Wilson, this other. I can't remember, but this girl she's like, I don't feel good. And she's sitting in the bathroom. She goes and just shit explodes onto the wall. And my mom died. And then one time my grandma farted at Christmas and my mom didn't recover for that entire night. I was like, oh, my mom likes fart jokes. That's where I get that. That's
Farts
great.
are so funny.
They're so funny. I don't even when they stink. It's it's funny.
Because
it's hilarious.
It's air coming out of your butt,
and it sounds like. It's hilarious. Nothing else does that. When you breathe, It's not do you not think farts are funny?
He's playing fart sounds. You can't.
I
you can't hear it.
couldn't hear. Yeah.
I had a special request from our viewer listener Lyle. He says that we don't play his fart anymore.
We play his fart.
Tough shit, Lyle. I don't know which one's yours. I'm just kidding. I don't know which one's Lyle's.
I'll have to figure out which one's his.
Is it this one?
I don't know.
Or this one? I know it's not this one.
That's not real.
That's Marcy's fart.
Was that a real one?
Yeah. Or wait, it might have
That
been.
was incredible.
Damn.
I know it's not this one. That one's mine.
Randy, that sounds like you could sell that to a company, like a fart machine company. That's
Right?
a great
Lyle,
sound.
if you're listening, tell us which fart is yours so that we can label it.
Rule.
We have fan fart board. We have a fan fart board.
Oh my God, I love fart. You know Aaron Brooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite comedians of all time. He's so funny. He had a podcast and he had a comic on and they rated just his farts because he goes, you have a bunch of your farts? He goes, oh yeah. I got him all saved on my phone. He's like, well, let's listen to him. So I think it was him and I don't remember what other comedian, maybe John Doerr. I can't remember who it was. They listened to all of his farts. And he's like, that was a good one. And they're like, yeah, what'd you rate that? A 10? And they just have an episode where they rate his farts. And I'm like, it's probably my favorite episode you've ever done.
And some people think they're gross.
No.
And those people, I frankly don't want to be friends with them.
No. There's definitely a lot of things about being with a comedian friend or a partner where it's if you don't like farts, we just don't get along that well. Libby, you could fart on me with that butt anytime you want.
Oh, yeah. Well, you say that until you hear and smell it. Then you'll be like, okay.
Okay, give me 2 rounds of that. I'll take an extra shot of that, please.
Stanky farts. Oh, shit.
I love that button. I love you. How you guys been? How's life? How's life? I haven't seen you guys in pretty much forever because you've been on the road, which is a weird thing, not getting to see you as much.
Life is hard at home.
Yeah.
It's hard not having a job and then trying to figure out what to do with yourself.
Yeah. Like that much free time?
Yeah.
What do you do besides comedy? Like, what things do you like to do besides like doing stand-up?
Well, I've been working on my YouTubes and just trying to keep the content up. See, I'm like going into panic mode just thinking about let's talk about something else.
Okay.
My body's doing the anxiety attack where it's like you're not in your own body.
Oh, yeah.
You're in someone else's body.
Well, and the thing that it does seem weird is like a comedian, because I'll do that too, and we can talk about something else, but I'll be like, oh man, I got to make this. And all of a sudden you have to make one post, and like I'll get down to like the filter, and for some reason I'm like, oh, I'm a nobody. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. And it's like, that'll take over, and then you're like, it's not like the old days where being a comedian was, you're pretty much live all the time.
Right.
Like now this like panic, and then you post something, and then people have to like receive it, and you're like, did I post it at the right time? And I'm like, for you guys, I'm sure that happens quite a bit. But you guys do a great job. I tell you guys this all the time. I try to remember you guys. You guys are money, and you don't even realize you're money. You know what I mean? You guys are awesome. So when you're posting stuff, people love it. My cousin, we were at a show, and he goes, that's my favorite comic. And he was pointing at you. This is years ago before you guys had met. And he goes, that is my favorite comic. And he goes, well, you're like, you two both. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. You can mean the person who's actually on the internet famous. Yeah.
How is your cousin?
He's doing okay.
I haven't seen him in a
I haven't seen him in a long time either. I've not seen him in family, you get busy, she's on the road. I'm also on the road, mostly coming to see Libbie in Chicago.
You were just with, what comic were you just with?
I was with Erica Rhodes. She took me on the road to West Bend, which the Bend was one of the coolest theaters. They took incredible care of us. You've been around the country, and not every club or theater treats the performers as if they're important. They're like, can you guys get out of the way so we can sell liquor? You're like, all right, our bad. Sorry about that. Go sit in that broom closet real quick, and whenever we're ready, we'll call you. And you're like, all right. No.
Broom closet.
Yeah. No, they were great. Yeah, Jeff and Craig took amazing care of us. Craig specifically took amazing care of us. He was insane. He messaged me afterwards. He's been messaging me all week being like, hey, was everything okay? Everything worked out.
That's so nice.
It's really rare to do that. Yeah, we had a good time. There's a couple friends I made in West Bend. I went out with them. I don't drink very much, so we went out that night, and they showed me the couple bars. And it's a small enough town where we're like, what's there to do? And every single person was like, oh, you got to go to the farmer's market. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the next day, they're like, oh, my God, you got to go to the farmer's market. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we'll go to the farmer's market. And we went, and it was fine. It's like a farmer's market. But when you're a small town, you're like, dude, you ever seen a bunch of apples? They're from here. We make them. We make these apples. We grow these apples right here.
I don't take recommendations from anybody anymore.
That's actually probably really smart because even when I give a recommendation after they leave, I'm like, that wasn't a good recommendation. You think it's just off the top of your head.
People are just proud of stuff that they shouldn't be proud of.
Right. Well, I'll be honest. The farmer's market was cool, but even we were talking, it's like there's other ones that are like bigger, but when that's all you have, it's like, that's cool. They did tell me to go to the art museum, and that was pretty cool. I got to like make a bunch of dumb videos at the art museum and like ran into a girl taking art very seriously, but I'm like,
Did you talk to her?
No. I go hi. I was like, hi. And she was like, she did that thing where she's like, oh, she didn't even say that. Like, she's just like I'm at an art museum by myself because I'm in another city with that. She's like here because she's like really taking it in, and I'm like I'm just making videos, like not taking art seriously at all.
Did she have an easel set up and she was painting something?
No, but have you ever seen that? What is that?
I don't know.
When someone's painting art that's already that would be really weird. That would be like if I was watching you do stand-up and I was writing your jokes, like as you said them, I was like, these are really good jokes.
That's a copycat. That's what that is.
That is a copycat. And I'm like, even if they're like, it looks the exact same, I'm like, yeah, but it's already right there.
We already have that.
Yeah. They should have someone who
try something different.
Someone who does like, how people dress up as Elvis and they're like old people are like, that's Elvis. Like they need to do like someone who dresses up as Libbie, but now like someone who plays you, but currently like you can see Libbie in Atlanta or in New York City tonight.
Holy shit.
My God, that would be fun. I'd be a Libbie.
You would?
I could be a Libbie. I just can't sing as good as you.
Well, how would your voice?
Hosanna.
You look like Brian Regan right now.
The big yellow one's the sun. I love Brian Regan. We have to go hang out with him in Wisconsin. Me and Danielle went up just to go see him do a show, and he's incredible. He's
So does that mean
incredible.
you have his phone number?
I do not have his phone number. I have his contact from like a couple people, but I don't have his phone number because I think even he knows enough that he's like, hey, we're pals, but like this could be a problem. Like like every comic loves him, so it's like yeah. But we had a good time. We went on his tour bus, and he had like a rock wall on his tour bus, and I was like, hey, nice rock wall. I was like,
To climb?
and I go, is that for you? And he goes, yeah. And then he goes, I'm just kidding. It's for my grandkids. He's like, I was like, oh, that makes sense. But for a second, I was just picturing him being like, the big yellow ones. That's just like going on a tour bus, just like that's how he like trains. Is just like on a rock wall, being like, yeah. But yeah.
Oh, how high was it?
Well, it's for kids, so it's as high as like you've been on the tour bus. It's like that high. That's what made me think. I was like, what is that for? And he's like, I travel with the family. It's like to keep them entertained. But I'm like, even the kids like going down the highway. Like it's got to be crazy.
I can't believe he has grandkids.
I know. He was the best. He's one of the nicest people I've
He's
ever
my
met.
favorite in the whole world.
Yes. You met him. We got you backstage whenever I opened.
Yeah.
for him, right?
And then we hung out afterwards, all of us.
Yes.
And it was the greatest experience of my life.
Yeah. He's the sweet. He does bits right away. As soon as he walked in, I was like, hey, Brian. Because as a comic, sometimes you meet people where you're like, hey, what's up? Is this how I act like a human? Like sometimes you're like, holy shit, I can't believe you're here. And he came in and I go, hey, if you guys need anything, I'll like help you out. And sometimes like as a host, I'll say that. I'm like, you guys want drinks or whatever? Like there's a waitress taking care of you. But if I can try to help out and like just get this going if we're about to go on stage, because it's like it's literally about to start. And he goes, yeah, I could take something. And he could tell that he was trying to he just loosened the tension like right away. He goes, yeah, I'll take a meatball sub. And I look at him, I go, bread, meatball, bread, meatball, bread. That's crazy. Bread, meatball, bread. I go, that sounds weird, but I'll get it for you. And I like leave the room and come back in, and he starts laughing, and I was like, and then he goes, all right, now you're gonna close for me. His like manager took me aside, he's like, you're gonna close for Brian Regan. I go, what? He goes, well, he's not gonna get check dropped. He's Brian Regan. Because like in the middle of a comedian, like they get check dropped, so like they're gonna do check drop after he performs an hour of amazing material. You're gonna come back out. You're going to do stand-up. And I was like, well, we don't have to do this. He goes, we need you to do 5 more minutes. So after Brian Regan went up, I had to go out, and I'm like, hey, guys, thank you for coming out to the club. What a great show. Give it going for Brian Regan. Well, you guys ever notice how, and I had to do 5 more minutes.
So you really had to do that?
Yes, and which was so sweet. They didn't even have to do this, but they paid me extra for doing that because they were like, they were super nice. Like they took great care of me. Yeah. They were really sweet. But he's like, you're going to close. And I was like, this is tough. He's like, we all know. Like, we all know it's tough.
God.
But he was backstage, and my girlfriend said that she was like, he was listening to you. And he's like, he did a really good job of like figuring out how to, because I had to just mention it. I was like, well, the only thing cooler than opening up for Brian Regan, the only thing worse is having to then close for Brian Regan.
And I saw that show, and I don't remember it.
I think we might have gotten you back. Maybe we got you backstage. Maybe you were hanging out with him. Maybe when that happened. I don't remember. Because it wasn't like
I was out there.
Maybe you might have blocked it out. It was so bad.
Was it?
No, it was. I crushed.
Did they?
It was fine. It was like a fine set. It was like fine enough for following Brian Regan. It made me feel like if you lived in like those cities where people just drop in all the time. Like Bill Burr just comes in and you have to follow Bill Burr.
Oh God.
We don't have that in St. Louis. That's a nice thing, is that if we bomb, no one sees you.
Well, sometimes when you're at the Funny Bone open mic, you'll get bumped by other comedians.
Well, yeah, that happens. That's just part. That happens all the way to L.A. to New York, everywhere.
It needs to be stopped.
If I may, Libbie.
No.
You've said that to me before, and I don't mind, but I understand. But it's also similar that it's like, if I'm like working my way up at a club and then it's like, and I love what you guys do, but then if someone comes in from YouTube or something like that and they've never worked, they're like getting a slide in, I could be like, hey, wait a second. I was about to be here, but you're like, but it's just how the game works. And I know it's not great. I know you don't like the bump, but it happens from New York to LA.
Well, they need to stop it.
I know.
No one's time is more important than anyone else's.
I agree with that sentiment. I do agree with that sentiment. I just think that's just how it works. What if you will never bump somebody?
No,
you would never show up to a club.
Bump anyone.
Ever.
No.
Well, I appreciate you. That's really sweet to say. I think that's really, really good to say. I have bumped people. I've been at a club and like when you show up, it's like a thing. If you've been there for a while, you get to be like, oh, I get to pick. You get to kind of watch the audience be like, hey, I'd like to go here. You're not bumping that person in the audience eyes. You're not like they're not like, hey, we were gonna bring someone up, but that's not happening anymore. You're welcome. This next person, like they still have to go up. They just choose to go there, and sometimes they even get more time. So I totally get it. Maybe I'm like, it's like being a Scientologist where I'm like, I've just been around. That's just.
No, I don't think it's okay.
No, I agree. I've had people say where they're like, I don't like when YouTubers like do clubs, and I'm like, I love it because I think you guys crush. You guys like didn't start in the old fashioned like way.
Mm-hmm.
and you guys are better than anybody. It just proves that there's no gatekeepers. It just proves that you can do whatever you want. Whether, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's a gatekeeper when they put somebody in that I sign up, I get picked, I show up, I wait.
sure.
And then somebody else is going to come 2 minutes before, go up, and then leave.
Sure.
No,
I don't want to
not
argue.
okay.
I understand. I don't want to argue with you because I don't really care either way. I just like doing stand up. You know, I've never been in the back of the club been like, this is bullshit. I'm usually in the back of the club being like, you know, just like that's I'm just hanging out with you guys doing bits. So I don't care either way. I think I've just been around it so much. So yeah, there's no argument.
I've never been bumped by a woman.
You should yeah.
I mean, when I was at the Funny Bone, Megan's like, "Oh, you didn't have to sign up. You could," and I'm like, "No, it's not. I'm not doing that."
Sure. The fact that you're sticking by your morals is great because personally, I had been bumped for so long, and it does feel weird. Like when you're new and you like got your notes in front of you, you're like, here I go. Jesus, funny tonight. I promise this cheese joke is gonna be, and you're just like, wait, you're so pumped, and then someone's like, hey, this person's gonna go in front of you. It does take the wind out of your steam a little bit, but then you have to follow that person, so it makes you a better comic. And then in the future, when you get to roll up into the club and you didn't have to go on the internet a week before to be like, I'll be here on Wednesday. Like, you know what I mean? When you don't have to sign up, it kind of feels nice. And you've earned that right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there's just two sides. I don't think there's any right answer. I agree it sucks. I do agree it sucks. And I also agree that I'm like, to myself, that I'm like, it does. If someone bumps me, I'm never like, but I remember it bothered you. I remember being in the back of the club.
Who bumped me the other day was Reggie. How do you follow Reggie Edwards? He's one of my favorite St. Louis guys.
Well, yeah, he's
the fucking funniest. Oh, you're going to make me go up after this guy?
Yes. Well, he's the best at like being the best. Like some people come up and as soon as someone brings me up, I'm like, hey, whoa, hey, whoa, whoa. And Reggie just comes on stage and he's like, he'll start what he's like. And by doing that, everyone just like starts listening to him. And then he's like, and then he just goes.
He's
and
the
you're just like, he
greatest.
just really takes his time. And whenever you're just like, yeah, he's good. He's really good.
He calls himself the GOAT, and he is the GOAT. He is the greatest.
Have you ever asked him why he says that?
No.
If you're asking, yeah, because someone asked him because they were like, what do you mean? You think you're the greatest? He goes, I think everyone can be like their own GOAT. And I thought that was like a really beautiful thing to say because he's like, I'm just trying to be the best like version of myself. We were outside of healing and I was like, yeah, that's cool. He's like, I'm trying to be like my own GOAT. He goes, I think everyone should try to like aspire to be that. So it's like, it's a thing that he's saying, but also it's like for everybody because it's like a phrase that's been around for a while.
I love him.
Greatest of all time, yeah.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he is. He's so funny.
He's so
He's a
funny.
good hang too. There's like a very few comics that can like are good hangs after like the shows, and he's hilarious.
He always says to me, with your ugly ass, which makes me laugh so hard.
Oh my god. Yeah.
With your ugly ass. Have you ever watched his little cooking shows on?
Yes. Yes.
Where does he come up
I
with all
don't
these
know.
adjectives and nouns?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, what was that one song? He's like, get your Jeep ass, refrigerator looking ass. And I told him, I go, dude, send that to me right now. I have buddies I have to send this song to. This song is amazing. Yeah. He's
With
great.
your Tyrannosaurus Rex toenail looking ass. I'm like, where did he come up with that?
Well, there's something about doing rap battles and stand-up that it's like that creativity's got to be like, because to just do stand-up alone is hard, but to then like freestyle in the moment, like rhyme and be funny and hurt someone's feelings, like that's hard.
It is
That's a hard
next
thing to
level
do.
thinking.
Yeah.
And I've told him that. I'm like, dude, your brain thinks on a different, you're just thinking on a different thing here, bro.
Sure. Absolutely. That's how I feel like
With
you
his ugly ass.
Oh my God. So now you're back in St. Louis.
I'm back in St. Louis.
So we can go out on a date and hang out, even though you have a boyfriend now or whatever.
I don't have a boyfriend.
You have a guy or whatever.
There's a guy that I have been talking to.
Yeah. Is he better looking than me? Is he?
He's actually the most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life, if I'm going to be honest.
Has he got a smaller penis than me? Because old Bob's got the smallest one you said you've ever seen. So if you found a tiny little ding ding. Oh, I could just tell by the way you use your look, you're liking his little thick ding dick. Fucking you with this big ride, going in and out. My name's Todd. No, I'm kidding now.
Look
My
at
name's
you.
Jeff. I just fucked you while on meth. No, that's my song, and I'm sticking to
Jeff
it.
and meth.
Yes.
Man, that was pretty great. You are the GOAT of yourself.
You mind if I bump you up for this next joke?
No. if you bump me, I'm taking this table. And
No. That is one of the things that I feel like you've known me for a long time, and I feel like that is one of the things that's like most comics don't do is just be like, can we just all be cool with each other? Like I feel like after the show, as soon as I can get to just like hanging out with like you, you, Tina, Rafe, you guys are like my crew. And then like Mike Anthony, Reggie, like all of us just like
God,
hanging out after the
Mike
show.
Anthony.
Dude, he just moved back to St. Louis and he wants to hang out with me more than like my mom or my grandma. Like he's like, you want to go get lunch? Like every Sunday he wants to eat. He's the sweetest dude. Absolutely.
he opened up for Theo.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He just went on the road to Kansas City and opened up for Jeremiah Watkins.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I just I was backstage at Theo's and he was back there. I'm like, hi, I'm Libbie. And he's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's fun. Well, I feel like we have a good like bunch of comics right now because I feel like there's for a while there's a lot of people that's like, because it's easy to live here. It can be really cheap, so anyone can do stand up.
Mhm.
But it's kind of rare for you to be good at stand up and then after the club be able to like hang out with people without being like, well, that guy's just being mean. That guy's just hurting everyone's feelings. Like to just hang out after a show. That's my favorite part. I'll be honest. Like that's like most of doing stand up is like for me is hanging out with you guys before or after or something like that. Like you guys had amazing shows, but as soon as I came backstage at that Chicago show and I was like, hey, what's up? Let me get up in that pussy. And you're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, let me read it like a book. Just like we're doing bits and I'm like, that's
I love
like
the
my heart.
bits.
Yeah. Me too. Just hanging out.
All day, all night.
Yes, that's why you guys are my family. That's why I love you guys. Tina's like lives for bits. Like Tina is like I remember meeting her and being like, okay, she like just like she would just like all the time start being around and you're like she just does jokes with us. She just like does jokes like we've known her for 10 years. Yeah.
That's how we became. Tina and I became friends because we did bits about her dropping her cunt on the floor. Be like, is that your cunt over there on the floor?
Yeah, it's all covered in lint. I just dropped it.
You gotta
I
pick
kicked
it up
in-
and
I kicked
wipe
under
it
the
off.
Couch.
you kicked
Oh,
it.
damn it. Hold on, let me reach for it. It's a marker. It's another marker. Yeah, is this my? Oh God.
Ooh. Put it back on.
Chink. Like I don't. Is it like it seems like it's just like metal on metal. Just like,
Like implants. Teeth.
yes. Yeah.
I'm so anxious right now. I'm going to be honest. I'm trying to have fun, but I'm so anxious.
Can
I mean,
I be
I am
honest?
having fun.
Libbie, let's just have a real moment right now. I was do you know that I get more anxious coming on to hang out with you on this podcast because I want it to be good more than I care about if like before stand up I'm like, hey, what's up? You guys want to do a shot? You guys want to hang out? I don't care. But right, like on my way here, I was like, I'm gonna listen to good music and do everything because this podcast means a lot to a lot of people. So I can't just show up like there's 12 people at a mic or something like that. Like this means a lot. So if I show up, that's how important you are. I tell you that. I'm going to tell you that every time. You guys are all important, and I love you, and you're beautiful, and you can send me that butt pic. I won't. I won't do anything but look at it.
You have to sub to my OF.
I'll sub right.
It's only
to that off.
$8 a month, dude.
Only $8 a month.
I know. I lowballed myself. I'm wishing that I wouldn't have.
I'd pay at least $3,000 a month to see that butt one more time.
I should have had at least 10 because OF takes 20%. So I'm only making
I didn't know
6
that.
something.
Okay. How do you feel about showing your feet and stuff?
I'll show my feet. Not right now, though. They're jacked.
Okay.
I'll show my feet.
When did this start? Is it? I feel like I'm like really late on the game. That all of a sudden I was like, oh, I don't really know if I like this whole like stepsister thing. And then all of a sudden one day it's like feet. You want my feet in your face? Like I don't know when that happened,
I
but
think
you
it
can
just
make so
became-
much money off of your feet.
I think it's just because it became more acceptable and not so taboo. I'll show feet, boobs, and butt. Everything else off limits.
I feel you.
Saving that for a special person.
Saving that for God. Saving that for a confessional booth.
I was doing. I don't want to talk about it. The messages that I get on there are pretty intense,
Oh, I bet.
and I was kind of indulging with them. And then I was like, man, this feels gross. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay out of my inbox and put, this is what I want to do. Funny stuff,
Yes.
butt stuff. Well, not butt stuff. Butts, boobs, and funny stuff. That's all I want on my OnlyFans.
Yes.
I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm doing this or that.
Yeah. I think you should, and that is the cool thing. If I like that, I know about OnlyFans and stuff too, because like I think it's great because it's like whatever you want. Like when you get, I mean, if you go to like search porn, you have to kind of search through a bunch of stuff you don't like. Like you're like, oh, whoa! I feel like you're just like avoiding accidents on the highway. You're like, yikes! Wow, that looked like a lot of something. And just like, and then you finally find the video you want. But with OnlyFans, it's like if you find someone, they usually make almost such catered content to what you like. So if you're doing that, that's what you should do. And it does suck that these people are messaging you because it's like you should be able to ignore those and be like, well, this is stuff I want. If you don't want to, if you don't want to see this, or if
they
you want to
want
see
more.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't want to see just this, then that's fine. And it's like people get pushy.
And they also,
I'm betting it's a guy being pushy.
It's guys thinking that we're gonna fuck or something, and I don't know if they really think that or they're just. It's like a fantasy.
Right.
Well, I don't even know.
Well, that's how guys think about sex workers. Like if you go to a strip club and there's like a sex worker that's gonna dance on you, literally guys are like, I can do. Like I've seen guys get kicked out of strip clubs because they're like, smacking, doing something you can't do, and they're like. I'm paying money. And you're like, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. There are still levels. It's just like if you go to ride golf carts, you can't just be like, I'm going to crash it. You're like, no, you have to treat it how the guy wants you to treat it because these are his golf carts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, or go-karts or whatever. But it's like you get to dictate that. So don't ever let someone tell you should go farther. Because, I mean, if you're showing him that butt and he wants more, all I want is that photo again, Libbie. Just send it to me. We've been friends a long time. I won't make it my background, but it will be my background.
Well, I just thought that, like, at first I thought, well, I have to do this. I have to talk to these dudes.
No.
But I don't.
No. You don't. There's definitely people on OnlyFans that, like, they post the same stuff on, like, Instagram, and they're like, if I don't, like, you should get the hint if I'm not messaging you. You make your own rules. Like, I saw, this is someone else's Twitter the other day, but someone shared it. They're like, I'm not going to message you back if you give me anxiety. You're not going to piss me off on my phone. Like, that's someone else's words, but I was like, that's true. Like sometimes someone will message me that's my friend and they'll be drunk and they piss me off and I'm like, I better respond. And now I just flip my phone down. I'm like, I don't have to respond to you. I'll respond in 2 days whenever you're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I was talking about what your drunk ass was talking about 2 nights ago, asshole. Yeah. I'll show you the message and you'll know who it is later.
Oh,
But
I can't wait to
talk
see
that
it.
one here. Yeah. No, not Tina. No. That would be funny.
Tina.
No. Tina only sends funny. Tina's like never, like there are friends that will be like, sorry later. Tina only will be like, sorry if that was too funny last night. She'll be like, never had to apologize for going too far, usually, that I remember.
It was too funny.
Except for she's like, I just hit your car. I can't believe she hit your car. That's so funny.
And she gets out and just looking at it.
Yeah.
She goes, I just heard like a tink. I go, I heard a
dude.
I heard a crunch.
Oh my God. But that's the thing is I don't think, because when Tina's like always so chill, it seems so chill. But when something goes awry, she goes into a different person. So I think when she hit your car, she probably heard it as like, even though the moment was like, like even though it was this huge moment, she probably still thought that because she's done that so many times where she's like, what? I don't know. Like when we were all whitewater rafting, she's like sitting behind me. So we're like going down. This guy's like, 3, 2, 1, stroke. And we're going down with like these big rapids. And then we go down the part where we're like, the guy plans for us to fall. You like fall down like a whitewater rapid or whatever. And it like goes down a waterfall. And I turn around and I see Tina fall and I'm smiling because I've done this stuff before. I go to turn around like smiling and Tina just goes, ah! Like her face was like, I looked at her, look at me and be like, I don't know. She had like her eyes like went black like a shark. She's like, I will drown you to be a life preserver. Like whenever she gets stressed, like I'm sure when she hit your car, she's just like, huh? What? I don't
That's
know.
fine.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. That's everything. But yeah, so it's like, but when she's calm, she's like, oh, I remember that. But I'm sure when she hit your car, she heard it like this, even though it's like, probably one big thing. Huh? I didn't spill that. Like that's.
Oh. Did you guys fall out of the raft when you were doing that?
Yeah, we all fell on the raft. I watched. She like all of them came like on top of me.
How do you get back in?
It's just hard. It's not easy. It's just like you either like go to the edge and then we all jump back in, or we have to like grind back in.
Do you get hit by a rock?
No, but I did throw up a lot. I did throw up because
What?
Yeah, because the night before we partied pretty
You
hard.
did shrooms?
Maybe, but we did. I don't know. But we did party, and then the next day, I also ate a bunch of chips that night because I'm just a monster at night. I just eat so much. So I ate a whole bag of like jalapeno, those kettle chips. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So the next day, I was like, I don't really feel well. Ray's like, yeah, dude, you ate like a whole thing of. He's like, you ate this huge box of like, or this huge bag of food. And then so we get to this rock, and I'm like, check this out. And I do a flip, and then I go, whoa. And I get out and I throw up. And that was the place where they got that picture of me. I don't know if you've seen it, where my nuts are out.
Yes.
While we were going kayak, because the guy kept taking pictures. And so we come around this corner. I'm like, oh, he's going to take a picture. And I was like, I'll pull it out. So I'm just doing a bit, and I go to like do this. So he's like, you're going to take a picture, and then they send it to you in the mail or whatever. And I was like, and I go to do it, but I forgot it's out because we're like, whoa, whoa. So then I came around the corner, and I forgot. And then I looked down. I'm like, oh, no. I was like, I forgot one of my balls was hanging out. And we have a picture of it. Tina and them have a picture, and you can zoom in and you can just see it. It's like sticking out. Because I'm like, this guy's just going to get us whitewater raft and let's just see it like for a second. And then it was out for like, I don't know, a quarter mile. It's not good. But yeah, you should ask Tina. She has that photo somewhere. It's not great.
Tim's face also. There's a good picture of Tim's face in there.
Dude, Tim Walsh has some of the best faces.
Tim Walsh's dad. He's daddy.
He's daddy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's like means like you're like.
No, not
notch.
daddy like that. He's just like, he's a dad.
Oh, yeah, he is a dad.
He's like, the hands on the hip.
Yes, he's the best dad. But because they can also turn it off and be like, you want to sneak into this concert? Like, you had to, baby. Yeah. All right, this dad's off duty.
That sounded like Colin Dowd.
Hey, who you looking at, buddy? I can't.
I love him.
Hey, who are you looking at, buddy? And then he's the only guy I know who's constantly trimming his mustache in his own mouth. He made fun of. I watched a video of him talking about Tim's kid the other day or something, make fun of him, and he was like said something about. I don't remember. He was like, kid's always got Kool-Aid on his lips, so I was like, I'll at least make fun of like Colin. I saw him at the baseball game the other day. I was like, what's up, Colin? He's like, hey, not much, man. I was like, you can just go like this, just trim that baby up. He's a bad guy.
He was doing prank calls.
For who?
To the Improv shop.
Oh my
to
God.
Andy. And Andy called me and thought it was me. And I was like, it's not me, but then we figured out it was Colin.
Oh my God.
Who
That's
prank
terrible.
calls the Improv shop?
Only Colin. Only Colin does bits that make sense to Colin.
And he's a fucking cop, too.
Yes.
Get it together, police officer.
We took Colin on the road. I did a show years ago. And I took me and like him and 4 other comics, like just like from like Improv shop comics. We all like get in the car and I'm like, I'm going to go do the show if anyone wants, whoever can fit in my car can go. And they're like, hell yeah. So we go. Colin gets drunk immediately. We go to Trop, so like one of those places where you can get like tropical liqueurs, and he's like, I'm going to be a cop soon. Just like drink it, just like slamming this thing down. Finishes it, gets a brain freeze, and then tries to fight all of us, like one at a time. He literally comes up to me, he's like, and then we're like, dude, stop it. And then we start shoving him back, and then he gets like really mad. He's like, fuck you. And we're like, Colin, whatever. And then we get back to the hotel room because I was like, going to get ready for the show. I had to shower. And so we get out, and he's wrestling with Davey. Him and Davey are wrestling, and Davey throws him against the wall. You know, like at a hotel room, there's like this much space between like the wall. He just throws him against the wall, and he goes, ah! And slides down the wall. And then when he comes up, it's like he comes up like a different person. He just goes. Well, that sucked. And then he gets on his phone, and later I go to tag him in something. I go, hey, Colin, why can't I tag you on this? And he goes, because I defriended all you guys on Facebook. We were like, why? He goes, because you guys fucking suck. I was like, all right, Colin. All right, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
That's
that guy's
hilarious.
Interesting folk. Interesting fella.
I love that guy. He's so funny. He was
Oh,
one
my
of the
God.
first people when I went to the Improv shop before I took classes there, he was on some kind of team or something, and he was one of the first people I saw, and I was like, that guy's got what it takes.
He's one of the best improvisers for sure. I think he's one of the funniest people I've seen on stage. Like he's done like just hilarious scenes, like where someone was like Tony Hawk and was like a dumb scene, and he's come in, and he goes, "Hey, what's up? I'm Jim." That's Tony Hawk. That's his dad. And he like did a bit where and it's just like how he said it to the audience was like he could break the fourth wall, not break the fourth wall. He's an amazing improviser. I've been on a team with him, and I think he's one of the funniest at the shop for real.
He did a bit about a one-armed baseball player when I saw him. That's what it was. I'll never
Yeah.
forget it because it blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really understand what long-form improv was before I took classes.
Oh, me neither.
I thought it was just like, look at me, I'm a bird.
Yes. I thought it was like, or it was all the stuff you saw on like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Right.
The first time I saw a long form, I was like, I was already doing stand up, but I was like, I have to do this. Like, this is really cool. And then I was on a team, and when me and Danielle started dating like 3 years ago, she'd seen me do stand up like probably like a handful of times. And then we were on our way to the improv shop, and she was going to see me on my improv team, Burnside. Like, she was going to see like a Harold.
Burnside.
Which, if you don't know what long form improv is, it's like 31 suggestion. Someone's like, pineapple. And then for 30 minutes, you make a whole like narrative off of that one suggestion. It can go great. It can go bad. It usually goes bad. Or it can be anywhere in between. But it's like, it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. And me and my girlfriend are walking in, and I was like, she goes, how many comics are on tonight? I was like, oh, it's not stand-up. It's like improv. And she was like, yeah. Well, like, yeah, no, when do you go up? I go, we go second. It's not stand-up. It's improv. So, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I had to like pull her aside before we went, and I go, hey, if you want to take my Jeep, if you want to like drive around and not watch the show, that's fine. But you can't not want to be with me. After you see me on stage, back, I'm a big old tomato getting eaten by a rabbit. Like, if that is going to turn you off, you should probably get out of here right now. But luckily, we had a great show. We were a great team. We've had great shows, but sometimes if it's going bad, you can't just be like, all right, that's my time. Thank you so much. You are stuck up there for like roughly 25 minutes. And if it goes bad, it can go really bad. But that's why I like improv, because there's no net, and you have to work with other people.
Right.
Where stand-up, it all relies on you. But with improv, with a couple rules, you get to play with people, and sometimes it can be better than stand-up. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
And if seeing an organic opening didn't
Yes.
Turn her off, then she'll be with you forever.
Yes, for real.
Organic openings, for people that don't know, are fucking weird.
Yes. It's like if you when you're like walking and you see people make street art and you're like, oh, we should probably like walk around here. Like people are like dancing and you're like, hey, whoosh, whoosh.
And then everybody starts going, whoosh.
And the whole group of people doing the same thing. We're a tidal wave.
I'm a wave in the ocean.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. An old sailor man. Whoosh. Whoosh. And then you have to find your way in and out of that. And an audience just sitting there being like, what the fuck is this?
No, guys, we're generating ideas for the next 25 minutes, okay? This means we're generating.
Yeah. Most of it was us dancing when we came out. We're all pretty tired. So if you didn't like that, you're not going to like this next part.
Just hold tight for a minute. We'll start the real stuff in a minute.
But personally, I think I'm better at stand-up than I am at improv. But I feel like by doing improv, it helps you at stand-up.
Yes.
And some people, when improv is great, it's amazing. And some people can do it better than they can maybe do stand-up or whatever. But improvisers like stand-ups. But I feel like a lot of stand-ups are like, improv is done. But I think it's because they're scared. And I think most of them couldn't do it very well, for real.
It is scary.
It is really scary.
The thing about improv that makes me sad, though, is it's just once. You only do it once.
Yeah.
Whatever that great thing is that you just created is gone.
Yes, it is gone. Which is the beauty of it. It's kind of the beauty of it is that next time you have to try just as hard, but you can't rely on anything you've done again, like in the past before. And with stand-up, you can do that forever. You can, hey, what's up, guys? I just noticed the other day, 7 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that with improv. You can't be like, I'm a butterfly. Oh, yeah, I'm a butterfly, Ned. Oh, shit.
Although I do have a catalog of characters that I frequent.
But that's different, though.
I have the orphan child.
Yes.
The English orphan.
Yes.
The mom.
Yeah.
The lady that's slumped over like this all the time. That's like my Tina character.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, what the fuck's going on?
Hey, you guys got a cigarette? Oh, you guys got a cigarette I could fart on?
I could fart on. My favorite is the English orphan, though.
Yeah.
Because it always turns out it's not an English orphan. It's actually an adult.
Yeah.
Pretending to be an orphan.
Can you give me a little sample? Hey, what's up?
Hello, sir. I'm quite famished. Could you maybe give me a couple of pence to get something to eat?
Oh, sure. Did you say pants, or do you want like money? I'm assuming you want money.
Pence. You're in England, sir. That's the type of money we have
Are
here.
you asking for pant? Okay, so you want some money. Yeah, I can give you some money.
Just a couple of pence.
Oh, okay, for sure. How old are you?
I'm 32, sir.
I'm going to we should do our next stand-up set as an organic open. Be like, ladies and gentlemen, Libbie Higgins, come on. Hey, everybody. Ooh.
I go beep, 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 bonk, 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 beep, boop, beep, boop.
Hey, babe, you want to get the fuck out of here?
I thought this Libbie girl was funny. She's fucking weird.
Oh, well, you want to go out? Should we sing? I would like to, what was that song we were singing before we started?
And he will raise you up on eagle's wings.
Catholic guilt will kill you quick, make you to rise like the sun, and show me that fucking pic of your buns.
Those are my buns, they're not for you to see.
I am sorry, I didn't mean to ask.
I'll show you again once more.
Do it again, you whore. Go ahead and say 26 Hail Marys, and that should go ahead and cover that.
All right. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art.
Hey, listen.
Can you look up that prayer?
Hey, listen, priest. I haven't sinned, but next I'm thinking about stealing a car. But how many Hail Marys will that get me? Come on, because I'm busy. I can steal this car, but
Bobby,
I can't be praying.
We can't pre-plan.
No, listen. If you can forgive after, you can forgive before. I'm in insurance, and you're covering me in case I sin later. So go ahead and give me a me a quote.
Typically,
Give me a quote.
for grand theft, it would be 2 Hail Marys
Jesus.
per.
Let me make some calls. I'll see if I can may I have some. Does it count as someone Hail Marys around me if we do them at the same time?
No, you have to do the Hail Marys.
Do I have to hold the rosary while I do it?
Yes, you have to
Jesus
touch
Christ.
the Hail
Can I
Mary.
buy a rosary from you? Whoosh! Whoosh!
Beep, 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 beep,
Honk,
beep,
honk, honk, honk. And you will raise me up on your wings. I love you, baby.
Sit on my wings. And scene. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for allowing Bobby Boneman Jaycox, for joining us today on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
What?
Thank you for having me.
That was extremely creepy. But I'd like to, again, thank the Lord for allowing us this food and having Bobby here. So follow us on Instagram. That'll be all for